Next question. What do you guess will happen with student loan forgiveness in February with the Supreme Court and the potential economic fallout? So with the caveat that I'm not a legal expert, but based on my knowledge of the Constitution and the legal opinions I've seen, here's basically what it boils down to. Is the president, as the executive branch of our federal government, does not have the power to authorize spending. Only Congress has the power. They have what is known as the power of the purse. They make the bills that authorize the federal budget every year, that authorize government spending. And so for the president, by executive order, to try to cause something that could have hundreds of billions of dollars of impact to federal spending unilaterally, basically people are challenging that and saying, hey, we don't think this is constitutional. That's kind of the argument. They have to find a way to bring that argument to the Supreme Court and find someone that the decision, indirectly harms and all of that. But that's ultimately kind of the legal question at hand. And so from that perspective, constitutionally, I don't think he has the authority to do what he did. Now, the other piece of it that I feel like people lose sight of is what he was trying to do is forgive $10,000 of student loans based on various income qualifications, which were relatively high. But the fact of the matter is that most people that have student loan balances have significantly more than $10,000. So regardless of what happens with the Supreme Court case, even if the $10,000 in forgiveness goes through, most people with student loans will still have student loan balances that they have to pay on. People have not been making payments on student loans for going on 2 years now. At the same time, we've had inflation and we've had this, boomerang economic cycle. Most people have I think nobody's paying attention to the fact that whatever happens with student loan forgiveness in the Supreme Court, student loan payments are gonna turn back on at some point. And even if you get $10,000 forgiven, if you have $30, $40, $50, $100,000 of student loans outstanding, at some point your budget is going to have to absorb making payments again. And that is likely to happen this year unless Congress does some sweeping reform. They're not going to wipe out your student loan debt entirely. And so that is going to have a significant impact on consumers as a whole and consumer spending. So whatever your student loan payments were back in 2019 that you haven't been, and for many people, it's as much as like a mortgage payment. At some point, those are going to turn back on. And there's going to be significant impact to consumers' ability to spend on goods and services and the economy as a whole when that happens. So I think that's something that not enough people talk about. It's going to have significant economic impact. And so we'll have to see kind of the timing of how all that plays out. As of right now, I believe what they announced when they froze it was it will 60 days from when a decision is made or after June 30th is when payments are set to resume. So as of right now, payments will resume at some point this year. And so that's what you need to keep in mind. If you're banking on student loan forgiveness, remember, one, it's only $10,000. So if your balances exceed that, you're still going to need to make payments at some point. And two, the other piece of it is there may not be forgiveness at all, in which case you're still going to have to make payments again. So if that is not the kind of frame of mind that you are in, it may be time to get there and start to prepare because those payments are going to turn back on likely this year unless Congress does something to take action and change that. And given the split Congress that we now have, I think that's highly unlikely. So that's kind of my 2 cents on, student loans and student loan forgiveness. Whether you get $10,000 of forgiveness or not, either way, you're going to have loan payments again. So be prepared for that.